Alright, let's take a look at some coin and stamp problems. Now, you actually already know how to do these types of problems. You just don't know that you know how to do these problems. Let's say I had three $5 bills. So let me give myself some $5 bills here. 5, 5, 5. And let's say that I had two quarters, and these are going to be 25 cents each. Let's say I asked, how much total money do I have? Well, we know we have three $5 bills, so you'd say, okay, well, that's 3 times 5. That's going to give me 15. We know we have two quarters. That's going to be 2 times 0.25. That's going to give me a 0.5. And now if we wanted our total, you'd say, well, all you have to do is just add those two amounts together. So we've got this 15 plus we've got this 0.5. And we know we're going to have a total amount of money of $15.50. And all these coin and stamp problems are doing is they're giving you a certain amount that costs this much, a certain amount that is worth this much, and you add them together and set them equal, and you're going to get your total from that. Let's take a quick look at an example. So, a collection of 56 coins has a total value of $4. The collection contains only nickels and dimes. Find the number of dimes in the collection. So first thing I want you to notice is this chart that's built out all down here. This is going to be kind of your best friend in organizing data and helping you set up an equation that you can solve. Here you see we have the amount times the value is going to equal the total. This is just like the three $5 bills we had. We had three $5 bills, so we multiplied them. That gave us 15, what we just talked about a second ago. So let's see what things we can fill in. Watch how I pick this problem apart, put the information in, and then we'll solve from there. So here we have a collection of 56 coins, and there's a total value of $4. Now one thing I want you to notice is you're always going to have on your last column a total. You're always going to give yourself a total down here. So we have a collection of 56 coins. We know that we have a total of 56 coins. That's an amount. So I'm going to put that right down across from amount. We also know we have a total value. Now this isn't this value. This value is per coin or per stamp or whatever we're dealing with. This is the total value over here. So we know our $4 is going to go right in the bottom row and column right there. Alright, let's keep reading. The collection contains only nickels and dimes. So now that I know I'm dealing with nickels and dimes, I'm going to label one of these my nickel. I'm also going to label one of these my dime. So my types of coins or my types of stamps and some other problems, that's always going to go on the left here. Now, well, looking at value here, we know what the value of a nickel is. We know a nickel is worth 5 cents, so I'll write 0.05. We know a dime is worth 10 cents, so I'll write 0.10. And now the tricky thing here is this amount. Now notice we know there's a total amount of 56. We don't know what these are, so how I'm going to start out is by giving myself a variable, and I'm going to let my nickels amount be x. And now I know that if I have a total of 56 and I have x nickels, then my dime amount is going to have to be 56 minus x. If that doesn't make sense, let's go ahead and take an example. Let's say that Billy and Bob both have $10. Let's say Billy has $6. Well, you know that Bob would have $4. And we could just basically call that, we could say this is going to be the same thing as 6, sorry, we could say this is the same thing as 10 minus 6, that would give us 4. Let's say Billy had $2. Well, we know that Bob would have 8 because that's going to be 10 minus 2 is equal to 8. Now let's say that Billy had X dollars. Billy has X dollars. then Bob is going to have 10 minus x. It's just subtracting what we know we have from our total. So that's the same exact idea that we used up here in our example. We knew we had a total of 56, so we said let x be our nickels, our dimes will be 56 minus x. Be careful not to write x minus 56. A lot of people make that mistake. Let me go and clear some of these out down here. Okay, so proceeding from there, we know that our amount times our value gives us our total. So here we have x times 0.05. That's going to give us a total of 0.05x. Now in this second row, we've got 56 minus x times 0.10. We know that's going to give us 0.10 times 56 minus x. Now these rows here, these represent our total value from the nickels. We know we have x, each one's worth 5 cents. 5 cents times x gives us our total. Same thing with our dimes here. We know each one's worth 10 cents, times that by our amount, we get our total. Now we know our overall total is $4. So if we add up each individual total, that'll give us 0.05x plus 0.10, 56 minus x, that's our total number of dimes. We know that has to equal our final overall total of $4. Now notice we have an equation set up and we can solve from here. And I'm going to save us some time and not completely solve that. And I'm just going to give you the answer. That's going to give us a value of x equals 32. And now notice they're asking us to find the number of dimes. We know our dime amount is 56 minus x. So our final answer is actually going to be 56 minus our x, which is 32. So our total number of dimes is going to be 56 minus 32. That's going to give us 24. Okay, let's take a look at one more of these. So we have a stamp collector, has some 15-cent stamps and some 20-cent stamps. Well, I know I have my two types here. I know I have 15-cent stamps and I have 20-cent stamps. And then I'll go ahead and throw my total down here because we always need our total. And I might as well, while I'm at it, why don't I fill in this value column? I know 15-cent stamps are going to be worth 0.15 and 20-cent stamps are going to be worth 0.20. Alright, continuing. The number of 15-cent stamps is 8 less than 3 times the number of 20-cent stamps. Okay, make this is very important. Always, now when you have this kind of situation, when it's comparing two things, it might say this is a little more than this, or 3 times 8 more than this. You're always going to use x to be whatever it's comparing it to. So here, it says the number of 15-cent stamps is 8 less than 3 times the number of 20-cent stamps. Since it's comparing it to the 20-cent stamps, usually this is going to come second. Let's let x be our 20-cent stamps. So next to 20-cent stamps here, I'm going to write x. And I know it's comparing it to that, so that's going to be my x. Now it's easy for me to do the amount for 15 cents. The number of 15-cent stamps is 8 less than, so I know this is going to be minus 8, 8 less than 3 times the number of 20-cent stamps. So I have 3 times, and then I know I have x 20-cent stamps, so I put x minus 8 there. Moving on, we have the total value is $4. That's my total value. Here I have $4. Okay, well, now they want us to find the number of each type of stamp in the collection. Okay, let's look at what we have here and let's go ahead and fill in. We know we could multiply these two rows to get this one, so that'll give us 0.15, 3x minus 8. Here, second row, we're going to have 0.20 times x. And now I have my subtotals here. I've got my total of 15 cents, my total 20-cent stamps. I can just add those together. That'll give me 0.15, 3x minus 8, plus 0.20x, and that's going to give me a total of 4. And now, again, I'm going to give you the answer. Here you're just going to be using your basic algebra, so you would distribute and combine your like terms, and after we did all of that, we are going to get a value of x equals 8. Now, it's asking for how many of each type of stamp we have. Well, we know we have x 20-cent stamps, so I know that my number of 20-cent stamps is 8, since I know that's x. Now I know my 15-cent stamps is 3x minus 8, so I'm going to go ahead and give myself my 15-cent stamps. That's 3x. Instead of x, I'll put an 8 minus 8. That's going to give us 24 minus 8. So my total of 15-cent stamps is going to be 24 minus 8, which is going to give us 16. And we've got our answer. Remember, when doing these types of problems, setting up your chart, filling in the information, and then setting up some type of equation to solve is going to be pretty much your easiest route. And remember, our overall setup, we have our amount times our value equals our total. We've got our different types in our total on the side. Then we're multiplying across, and then we're adding to equal our total down here.